Today we have a very cool Ferrari, a 1989 Mondial T, which is a 3.4 liter, and it has been collector owned in Pennsylvania for many, many years and serviced with a well-known specialist in New Jersey. It is 16,000 miles from new and one of the nicest ones we've ever seen. So let's take it for a ride and be thankful that not only does the air conditioning work, but the heater is working today as well. Come on. Okay, welcome to our cold start, which isn't really a cold start. It's a pseudo cold start because we did start it to bring it out, but it started really well inside. And it continues to start just as well outside. So let's warm it up a little bit. Both Jason and I have used this car on the occasion, and we put 300 miles on it, enjoying every minute of it. Well, as it's cold outside and it's a Ferrari, I always go first to third gear, even though second gear works really well in this particular car. It's a 3.4 liter V8, which is transversely mounted, which is pretty much why this became the Mondial T. It is absolutely superb in every respect, with the least amount of wear you could ever see in a Ferrari. Every switch is working, the heater is working, the AC is working, the top is manual, so that's definitely working. It is old school, so you have an antenna switch, but once the antenna is up, you have some very nice tunes, depending upon the station, because the reception here is not so great. Okay, there you go. I finally figured out how to tune in a station. As you can see, we're warming it up. We're going to drive through Huntington. I'm going to try to keep our Tootsies warm. And it really does feel as new. Clutch is great, gearbox is great. Temps are coming up slowly, but you wouldn't expect them to come up any faster on a 28-degree day outside. I happen to like Mondials quite a bit. I'm not as much of a fan of the earlier cars, but the T has a great amount of power. It has enough room to put two kids in the back, which is really neat, and/or golf clubs, and to be able to be one of the most enjoyable and usable Ferraris. As you can see, second gear synchro is absolutely fine, but being that we have had so many vintage Ferraris, we're always a little bit cautious. Well, as we're still warming it up, I think there is one thing, because I am also a drummer, one thing I really love about this particular steering wheel, and which is a trifecta for a Mondial T, is the fact that you've got two horn buttons and a center horn button. So how you like them apples? Anyway, so we're both losing our minds a little bit, but it is warming up nicely. The water temp has come up. The oil temp is slowly coming up. One of the nicest things about the Mondial T is the power steering, or power assist, I should say, because it's not really light, but it's definitely not heavy. The driving position is exceptional. The gated shifter is just that, a gated shifter. And it's kind of nice when you hear your shifts from time to time, as you do. I'm going to talk about the condition because it has been rare to find a Ferrari of this vintage with a leather interior that has absolutely no shrinkage, warpage. It has been exceptionally well kept, and in a collection that has only the best of the best in it. And it was traded to us towards a 360 Spider, also a gated shifter. So let's get on it a little bit. It is a pleasure to drive. Great brakes. It is a bit go-kart-ish, but still really, really nice because it does feel like a proper cruising and I was going to say gentleman's sports car, but there are a lot of ladies I know who have these, and in all honesty, a lot of those ladies are better drivers than the gentlemen. So shout out to the women of the world who've driven their Ferraris. So we're going to come up here, go to where we jettison Jason, and do our flybys as usual. It's a little chilly out here, huh?
Sure is.
And the heater's nice, but whoo. Okay, get out, please, get out. I hope you enjoyed those flybys. We're going to head towards the farm road where we will do our typical go through the gears and then get on it a little bit, tell you how great it is at tracking because it is, how great it is at braking because it is. This car, another shout out would be to Will DeGroot at Motor Cars of Frenchtown, I believe is the name of the company, who's always been a gentleman, and he is the person who has serviced this car, I think, for many, many years in its previous ownership. So within its history, you'll see quite a few documents from Motor Cars of Frenchtown. So we're going to turn on the farm road right over here, or as we say, the FFR road when we're having one of those moments, which we seem to have quite often. And as I said, look at this, braking straight as an arrow. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and cruising altitude. Just, she's happy. Then let's drop to third. A little Ferrari prancing horse V8 power. And I think you get it. It is a Ferrari through and through. It is in superb condition. We welcome any inspections. It is without a doubt one of the best Mondials I've ever had, and we've had quite a few. And in a lovely color combination of white with blue leather interior. And we thank you for watching on this brisk day. But it's been very pleasant in here with the heater on. Nice and toasty. Thank you for watching.